President Raj and Master of Ceremonies Pirgal, my friend Gary, and ladies and gentlemen, first of all, Wanakkam and happy Thai Pongal. And I just want to extend a special welcome myself to my fellow elected officials, especially the fellow members of the Toronto City Council who are here, Councillor Chin Lee, Councillor Paul Ainsley, and Councillor Michael Thompson. And I know in welcoming them, they will share, because I speak on their behalf and on behalf of the people of Toronto, and all that I'm about to say about the Tamil community. But I also want to say a word of welcome to my fellow elected officials in the other governments, because one thing that I was very committed to doing when I had the privilege of becoming the mayor was to work well with them. We're all sent there to do the same thing. We have different aspects of these responsibilities, but one of the things I'm proudest of is that all together, because it takes a whole bunch of people at the different governments, we're all working well together. And I say that about my friend John McCallum, who's served so well, Kirsty Duncan, Gary himself, Brad Hewitt, I think, is here. I know Mitzi Hunter is here. We're working well together for you to try and get things done. There's much less, I hope you notice, of the acrimony and the bickering and so forth. And I think that that's a good thing for Canada, and it's a good thing for the Toronto region. Before I just say a few words about the community, I wanted to extend congratulations. I haven't seen him yet tonight, but I know he's here because he's similarly being honored. My friend, Tory Goldstein. It's hard sometimes to call these people friends, in the sense that I think they sometimes take offense if it's a journalist that a politician would call him a friend, but I've known Laurie for a long time. In fact, he told me when I was thinking of seeking the leadership of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party, I shouldn't do that. Right? He wasn't sure how successful eventually would be, and I guess in some respects he was right, because I lost the election I fought. So Laurie, I should have listened to you. Anyway, may I say to the Canadian Tamil Congress a proud word of thanks for honoring me in this fashion. I think, and this is the part I'm sure that my colleagues from City Council agree with, it should be me as the Mayor of the City of Toronto honoring this community for the leadership that you have shown in so many areas. And when it's a time of Thanksgiving, it's your time of Thanksgiving in Thai Pongal, I want to say thank you to you and express Thanksgiving for this community and what it's done. I was able to be confident in maintaining Canadian tradition, and in fact I think I was the first Canadian mayor to stand up and call on my colleagues and call on others to show leadership in assisting Syrian refugees when that issue really started to come to the fore back in the spring, a year and a half ago. And it's not a Canadian tradition that's been unblemished, because there were famous instances, including a boatload of Jewish refugees during the Second World War when Canada in fact said no. But I think in more recent times we have said yes. It was inspiring for me to travel to Edmonton and Yellowknife and Vancouver and Calgary in 1980 and personally witness the arrival of Vietnamese refugees. They were people arriving with nothing except the scars that came with the trauma of escaping their homeland that had been overrun by the communists. And it was more inspiring still as a candidate for mayor 35 years later to attend an annual celebration with some of those very same people and their children who are now adults, and to see what had become of them. And of course, they had become business people and teachers and lawyers and police officers and journalists. And I thought to myself, what a country this is that we live in. But I was in for even more inspiration as my public life has unfolded, and it has come from you. Starting about 15 years ago, I was invited to go to some of the events, the courses, the programs that you send your children to. And some of the people in this room went to those courses. And they taught discipline, and they taught determination, and they celebrated the arts, and they celebrated using your brain to do amazing arithmetic calculations without aid of paper or calculator. And I think the results speak for themselves, and that they're showing up in every area of Canadian life today with the finest young people that I've ever seen. And so I think in our country we probably need to offer more parenting courses. When people are talking about establishing a parenting course, I would suggest they get a lot of people from the Tamil Canadian communities to be the teachers. After that, it became the annual dinners, which I've probably been to a dozen times of the Tamil Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Some people, including me, expected the first time I went that there might be a few dozen people gathered in the room. And lo and behold, I think it's been in this room quite a few times, as I recall. Lo and behold, it is one of the greatest celebrations of enterprise that we have in this entire region. Hundreds of people celebrating Tamil Canadian success stories, which in turn have created hundreds and hundreds of jobs, not just for Tamil Canadians, for all kinds of Canadians. Most of the people starting here, these businesses, with nothing but their determination. Determination fueled by a justifiable sense of gross injustice at home in Sri Lanka, which has not been addressed as yet, as we heard earlier on, but also fueled by an obvious love for this country and the opportunity that it presents. And so I say again, what a country, but I also say about the Tamil community, what a community. And so when the fight for Syrians became especially acute, and really took us front and center as it should, I was comfortable being one of the first to speak up because of what I had seen firsthand with the Vietnamese and because of what I'd seen with the Tamil community. These are success stories which have built our city region and have built our country. Hungarians, Ugandans, Malays, Vietnamese, Tamil, and the list goes on. And you have honored me with an award that goes to people who bring about change. And I hope what I'm doing as mayor, as a human being, and that means that I'm not going to be perfect and that there are going to be lots of things you might disagree with me on, but that what I'm doing is helping people to embrace change, helping people to adapt to change, because there's lots taking place in our society, helping us not to be afraid of change, and to make change in areas where we needed things that are sometimes seemingly unexciting, like public transportation. But the message I want to leave with you tonight is that there are things that we don't want to change. And I hope that, that one of the things we can do is preserve some of the things that are so good about where we live. We don't want to change our welcoming ways, out of which has come the richness of a diverse population. We don't want to change our fervent belief in the power of freedom and ideas and enterprise and hard work to allow us to achieve great things. We don't want to change to our steadfast commitment to being the true north, strong and free, where we don't allow either oppression or excessive political correctness to prevent us from engaging in genuine dialogue, and Gary made reference to that. But beyond all of that, yes, that's worthy of a little bit of beyond all of that, I know we don't want to change our nature. Tamil Canadians or any other Canadians as modest, reasonable, balanced people. People who want to include others, sometimes especially because they're different, and help them to succeed. All over the world, we see place after place after place around the globe drifting into kind of a polarized state of being, people pitted against each other. Sometimes it seems like there's only a dialogue of the deaf left. Nobody really wants to listen to the other guy. Everything is either black or white. You and your recent ancestors have experienced what can happen if this is taken to an extreme. And we want to avoid even a drift slightly in that direction. That is not who we are. That is not who you are. That is not the way we've chosen to live together in this country, where we gain strength and knowledge from our differences and we celebrate them. So please, I say to this wonderful Tamil community that I've been privileged to have as my friend for all these years, keep doing what you're doing in every area of your lives, the best of parenting, the best of business, the best of public life. And I look forward to another chapter in my wonderful friendship with this community when about 8 weeks from now, I will be in the Northern Province, visiting Sri Lanka again, able to see the real roots of this wonderful, successful community and to establishing a new relationship. Establishing a new relationship for the first time between Jaffna and Toronto, which will be one more way to strengthen the ties that now bind